vital for that reason. So Slido, as I mentioned, generates about 70% of the total arrivals in the formal sector. So that is the role that Slido plays. So it's a very, very important role. Thank you.
Because hello. You are integrating let's say hotels and retail like the bigger picture. So do you feel any challenges or probably everything is going seamlessly for you?
There are challenges. So, say for example, if you take transport, for about 5 years, we would not import vehicles. In 2025, the government allowed the DMCs to import vehicles. So we are now in the process of upgrading our fleet to provide a better quality service on the transport side. Then there is a shortage of guides, especially language speaking. So it is not easy. So we have requested the government of Sri Lanka to train more guides, more chauffeur guides, especially in the language speaking area. Because we can see the arrivals from countries like France, Germany, increasing year on year. So overall, if you take the increase in 2024 compared to 2023, it was a 37% increase. And of course, though 50% increase has been projected for this year, it's not going to happen. Most probably we will end up with a 25% increase. But future bookings are looking quite good. And if we carry out a promotion campaign, a global marketing campaign, definitely we can perform to the true potential of Sri Lanka tourism. Great.
Ma'am, just to add on from your perspective, what's a big industry-wide challenge? Maybe something like new government policy or a skill gap, and how do you feel all come together to solve it collectively? He just mentioned one certain thing, and I think this will be an add-on to whatever you'll say.
So, yes, promoters of Sri Lanka totally private sector. And as much as in the sector we have different opinions and different objectives, when there are issues, we always, over the years, got together and work towards what we want to achieve. So for example, the travel agents are basically the buyers and the hoteliers are the sellers. But we work as one when it is necessary. I can tell you many we have worked collectively, but I think a very recent example was in the regime, they doubled the visa fees, and we all got together from the private sector and objected immediately, as we felt that this is going to impact the growth of tourism in Sri Lanka. Though the government did not understand the sense in what we were trying to say, so it went to a situation that actually we, Slido and Tassel, we went to courts against the government. It was such a bold step to take such a firm stand, but we felt that for the benefit of the industry, we required to do. And the court gave a ruling in our favor, which is one of those many things that we have worked together. We've also worked together in terms of how we are working, as some of the members spoke in the morning about the skills gap. We are working together, lobbying with the government to enhance the training levels in Sri Lanka and to increase the number of people that are training for a year. That is being done. There are many others, but I don't want to take a lot of your time. Some very controversial issues as well. We work together.
Especially with so much development coming up in Sri Lanka, you need that kind of level of probably the skill level.
Exactly. So
tourism,
so tourism is on the surge, as Nani very rightly said. All publications across the world are ranking Sri Lanka as one of the finest destinations to visit. But when it's all good, we need to, as stakeholders of the industry, address our matters of concern. industry for the next 50 years. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Great. Ma'am, Ms. Nandi, ma'am, just want to know, like, how much, you have so much of experience with Nepal's community-based tourism. How do you get local communities and private tour operators to work together to create an authentic experience that truly benefits Nepal?
Thank you. As far as tourism is concerned, Nepal is a very mature destination. And for us, actually working with the community is a given. Because in Nepal, a lot of our tourism products start beyond the borders of the city. So, a lot of people come for hiking, trekking, mountaineering, a lot of hard and soft adventure activities. So the train and the community, we are really working together because we can't do without each other. For example, if you go on a trek, on the way you're hiring people from the community, workers, porters, and clothes helpers, guides, who are buying stuff like fresh food along the way. So that's why the role of community and Nepal's tourism is very strong. But there has been a very sharp change in the last few years, especially post-COVID, because demands of today's visitor has changed. People are looking for very immersive, very authentic experiences, right? So, and that's what the community and the tourism fraternity has to come together in a very interesting way, so that we can stay longer, spend more, and impact more housing. And Nepal has actually we've always been promoting a lot of homestays, a lot of community-based tourism. We have in that whole country, we have about 127 different ethnic groups, 124 different languages. So that's a lot of culture, that's a lot of tourism, a lot of traditions, a lot of cuisine that we have to offer. And now we are working, especially the tourism board. I'm not just retired, but still we did a lot of work to bringing these two segments together. As far as the community is concerned, like we ensure that they are getting basic training in health and hygiene. I mean, the cultural skills are moved up, and they are made very, very aware of biodiversity and the cultural preservation of all the treasures that they have. On the side of the trade, though it is a new product they have to sell, and it's something very interesting for the market, but then we have to ensure that it is ethical tourism. It's just not mass tourism. We have to ensure that the conservation and the preservation is equally carried through by the trade also. And so we have classic examples. Many years like we have Barpat, we have Galigam, we have Sirubar. It's all community-based tourism, and that is something that we are really holding up a lot in the last few months, because today's traveler is just not concerned about the cost of the pocket, it's also the cost of the planet. And that's why Nepal is really taking a lot of steps in ensuring that both go hand in hand. Post-COVID, I won't share an example of what we did during COVID, because during COVID, obviously, all of us were suffering. But we knew that one fine day, tourism is going to come back. And our biggest fear was not so much like brain drain, it was skin drain. Because a lot of our tourism really depends on very skilled mountaineers, guides. It's kind of high altitude stuff that you just cannot pick up just doing a few online classes. So along with the government and the UNDP, we ran a project called STLRB, where we gave gainful employment to the people who were in the trekking industry, in the hotel industry, and they were paid to make new trekking routes. They were paid to repair our monuments and come up with little bridges and a little bit of construction. Also, this where they stayed within the country, and that really helped. So I think this is something that us in the trade and especially working with the community, all of us have beautiful products that have to be really preserved. And since we are in SATA, I think this is a larger community, a South Asian tourism community we are talking about. And I think I would like to take this opportunity to say that we should work together. No more competition, only competition. Our friends from Bhutan will be very happy to hear this. I was at the McKinsey Board earlier this year in the month of January with a delegation of about 10 companies from Nepal. And a lot of the Dutch people and European people came to our stand, to the Nepal stand, looking for tours to Bhutan. And I was like, I mean, what's happening? Why are they asking us for this? And then I asked one of them, I said, why? I mean, like, why Bhutan? And they said that, our king said that Bhutan is one of the most beautiful places on earth, and everybody should visit it. So it was a kind of word by mouth publicity by the King of Netherlands. And of course, it was great for our trade because, I mean, just like India and Nepal, obviously Tibet, all these Sri Lanka, we are always selling packages. So our trade really benefited selling a lot of packets to Bhutan, of course, via Nepal. That's why we have to work together.
I totally agree with one thing. I think with post-COVID, I've seen a shift. People are actually willing to pay that kind of money to have an experience, and whether it be a local experience or probably staying in a luxury resort. But if you get that experience that which people would remember, definitely they are willing to spend that time. Absolutely. Mr. Sanjeev, Kerala is leader in responsible tourism. From your experience, how has your association worked hand in hand with the government and the local people to make sure tourism helps rather than harms these people? Well, the question remains the same, sort of, but in a different tone.
See, as everyone knows that Kerala is the pioneer in responsible tourism initiatives. If you are looking into the international accreditations and awards which Kerala Tourism bags every year, continuously in responsible tourism, that says it all. Now, as accredited tour operators, as the president for accredited tour operators, what we do is that we have the opportunity to work hand in hand with the government and with the local community. So, what we have done is that, number one, we make sure that every tour operator under our association has to make sure that in all the packages which they sell Kerala, they should sell in all the destinations, they should sell at least one initiative of the responsible tourism groups. Whether it is a village visit, a local cuisine in a local village person's home, a visit to the paddy fields, whatever it is, that particular destination, in any destination, even though the
or performing the same activities which local villages are doing, giving the same kind of experience, like some pottery or some agriculture.
We recreated certain things also, like this palm fiber or all these things. We train these people, given them an allowance. See, some people, as you know, that if you don't get an allowance to work, these people will never work. So the government has taken the initiative to pay them on a daily basis. Whether the tourists come or not, they will be paid. So accordingly, these people which come and sit there now, the government is not paying, they are getting more and more revenue, but through this tourism business. And there is a separate department under the government of Kerala itself for responsible tourism. Number two, we used to give training to most of these people. Number three, there are, as you know, everywhere there are accredited operators as well as non-accredited operators. When non-accredited operators come, they try to reduce the package cost by cutting the corners here and there. By cutting the corners, so what we told them, you give us an optional visit in their itinerary. This is an optional tour which they can take on a nominal cost. Then we have associated with the hotels, saying that, see, suppose we have only 2 guests, and you take a package for 2 guests, arrangement on the higher side. So we try to mix the guests together to make the village visit happen on a lesser cost. So that way, we are doing our level best to promote the community by giving additional training and other facilities to them. We are working with the government, and what we are trying to sell is not just a destination. We are trying to sell experience to the visitors.
That's what matters. Shuri, back when we've talked about local communities and business, now it's the time to have that collective teamwork question. Maldives is an incredible destination on its own. but how are you teaming up with those of other South Asian countries to create more powerful regional stories that can attract travelers looking for a multi-country adventure?
I think I have to congratulate the startup for what they are doing. I think this is one of the platform that connects all of our neighboring countries, and we are able to share our ideas. We have heard other countries talk about their stories, and we are learning through them. And I think to Maldives alone, we can't achieve the targets that we set. I think it's we are dependent on each other. If we want to get some kind of services, maybe in terms of IT, we might have to reach out to India. Maybe if we want some other support staff, we might have to reach out to Bangladesh or maybe Sri Lanka. So I think we are dependent on each other. We need help and support from each other to give the services back to our guests. So
It becomes very seamless. Like,
Yes,
someone is
exactly.
in Maldives or in Bangladesh or in Sri Lanka or India. The connectivity and the experience remains the same.
yes, it's like next door. It's like neighbors. So for us to go to what do you call Seattle, it takes about 1 hour 15 minutes. Coming to Sri Lanka or India, it takes the same amount of time. And like I said, it's very helpful. We are a country that imports most of the items from other countries. So if you want to serve fresh foods to our guests, we have to depend on India or Sri Lanka or Pakistan, Nepal or the rest of the nearby neighboring countries. So it's very important that we have this kind of a close relationship because we are only just 400,000 people and we cater to 2 million. Last year we have, it's a new milestone for us. We've been fortunate enough to reach our target of 2 million arrivals last year, and we can continue to give that service with the help of our neighboring countries. So I think platforms like this, events like this, is very important for us to share our knowledge and learn from each other.
Absolutely, I would say like kudos to Ismail, for arranging this kind of event, where all the people within the South Asian countries are sitting, talking and experience, sharing their experience. So, you've been, you have so many different tour operators in the association. How do you get everyone to agree for a common goal when they're all competitors? Can you share successful strategy or bringing everyone together?
So if you take Slido, we have about 200 plus members. Of course, majority of the members are small and medium, about 90%. So we have to be seen to be fair, and also we have to be fair by everybody. So every member enjoy equal rights and equal status in Slido. Then of course, though we are competitors, we have common issues which is common to all the members. So when it comes to promoting the destination and generating income for the country, we work together. But of course, we are commercial entities, so obviously we will compete. But there are common issues that we have. On those we work together, like lobbying the government on important issues that is beneficial to the tourism industry. So there are a lot of common things, common issues on which we work together.
That's great. Like everyone comes together when there is a challenge, and they try to brainstorm and keep that challenge separate.
Yes, so as Amal mentioned, we had this issue last year where the government imposed an increase on the visa fee, and that was a massive increase compared to the fee that we charged a year back. So on that we all worked together, and actually we had to file a case to the Supreme Court against the government.
You actually work for tourism. You save tourism, you work for tourism, and that's all against the government. That's a big deal, I would say.
Yeah, it's a Otherwise, it's going to affect the tourism industry and it is detrimental to all stakeholders in the tourism industry. So, common, we get together.
You've already answered what question what I'm going to ask. You have already answered that. Still, I'll ask you. Can you give a specific example of a time when hotels team up with the other tourism groups to market Sri Lanka as a single destination, and what made it a success?
Yeah, so Sri Lanka's, from a government perspective, at this moment of time, the tourism sector is quite well structured. We have a very strong tourism act, which actually brings four governing bodies under a private-public sector partnership. And the Sri Lanka Inbound Tour Operators Association, which Nani mentioned as SITO, and TASCA, which is the Hotels Association of Sri Lanka, to the two largest players, are representative in these all four bodies. So one is more on policy, which is the development authority. There is one exclusively for promotions. There is another one for training and another one for conventions, promoting conventions and men's business. So in this act, it provides an opportunity to promote the destination, and it has been done very successfully in the past together with the other associations and the government, the government. Of course, in order to do a destination promotion of that magnitude, you need the government. This act also provides funds for the tourism boards to function, because the private sector contributes 1% of our top line, which is our total turnover, to the government, to the tourism boards, which is a substantial amount, and it has been growing phenomenally over the last couple of years, because tourism has set a double-digit growth continuously post-COVID now. So there are funds available. The catch-22 in this is that, the more arrivals grow, the governments feel that they should not promote tourism. But we in the private sector believe that it has to be done because it's for a long term. The short-term thinking doesn't work in tourism, and we feel the destination has to be branded, it requires to be promoted. I'm specifically talking more Sri Lanka and what has happened. So that is again one thing that SITO and TASCA are lobbying with the government, that we need to continue to have aggressive campaigns in the key source markets and emerging markets to sustain this industry for the future.
Nepal has faced some big challenges in those moments. How did you manage to get everyone from the government and the business to the locals to work together to keep the country's brand strong and welcome visitors back? Is there a touchy topic in asking? But I believe I did not, last time I did not ask Take, how is he? I'm sorry, I forgot again, how are you feeling, how's Nepal, and I hope everything is calm now.
Absolutely. Everything is back to normal. And I know this is a very grim statement I'm making, but this is really one of my favorite questions I love to answer because...
That's a hot topic for you.
Yeah, it's a hot topic, yes. And but of course, people are, the other countries that are here, all of us have faced some sort of man-made or natural disaster, and we've all recouped. So like every other country, we are also very resilient. And tourism, is really one of the mainstays of our economy. So yes, over the years, we have faced different disasters, sometimes earthquake, insurgency, we had blockades, I'm talking about the last 3-4 years. And each time Nepal has emerged stronger and wider. First, let me tell you, if you can just give me an extra minute to discuss this. Yeah, okay, thank you. So first, I would like to talk about the current situation. It was literally kamikaze attack in 48 hours. Everything was overturned. And unfortunately, there were some miscreants who had infiltrated, and they destroyed, they created a bigger mess than it was supposed to be. But then the Gen Z, they went back the next day, they started cleaning up, and it is back to, it's back to life as normal. And the tourists were not harmed. You must have seen the videos of these tourists going to the buses and all these protesters kind of making way for them, waving at them, giving them water and all that. So yeah, so it's back to normal. But what I really want to share is a big lesson that we did, which really worked very effectively for Nepal post-COVID. And this is something that I would really encourage every destination. It's such a simple formula that any one of you, whether you're a hotel, a destination, or a travel agency, would use this. So during COVID, of course, we didn't have anything to do. Tourism was down to zero. And so we were there. I was leading the crisis unit and also the PR and marketing all at the same time. And so I was talking, and we have a very small IT team of 2 people, and I was telling this girl, I said, what do we do? Like, I mean, how do we get Nepal back in the picture? We have to ensure that once COVID is over, we have to stay on top of the mind, recall. And then we thought, okay, why don't we use this opportunity to change the image of Nepal? Because Nepal, I very strongly feel many times at the risk of losing my job that it's a bit of a very strong brand. So when you say Nepal, you just think of Mount Everest, then you think, oh, it's only for climbers, it's for trekkers, it's for hippies and all that. But Nepal is so much more than mountains. And that's something people don't know. So let's use this opportunity. And so we came up, with a little idea. It was all grown, zero budget, the 3 of us. And we said, why don't we try to project Nepal as the next best wellness destination, not only in terms of what Kerala offers, but also in terms of spirituality and also in terms of mental wellness. Because after COVID, people were really suffering in body, mind, and soul. So come to Nepal and recover. And so what we said, we are not going to talk about the mountains. So we dedicated every day of the week to a product in Nepal that did not talk about mountains. So we came up with Mythical Mondays, where we spoke about the Kumaris, temples, we spoke about the art and culture. Tuesdays was Trekking Tuesdays. So we spoke of the lesser known parts and not the Annapurna and the Everest. Wednesdays was Wellness Wednesdays. So every Wednesday you did something about, recouping yourself. It would be about yoga, meditation, on the natural herb we have in Nepal. Thursdays was Thrilling Thursdays. So then there we projected all the different activities you can do without actually trekking. Like we had water-based activities, cable activities, there was bungee jumping, there was canyoning, there was different things that we could do. Fridays was Foodie Fridays. So every Friday we posted food on Nepal along with their recipes and how to do it. Saturdays was Soothing Saturdays. So it was some sort of general activity on Nepal. And then Sundays was Sustainable Sundays, where we spoke about all the sustainable green efforts that Nepal's tourism is putting into to conserve both nature and our culture. So this was posted totally. We carpet bombed the digital space into a free area. We get WhatsApp, even on LinkedIn. We were like, every day we had something different about Nepal. And we love to believe that is probably one of the reasons when revenge tourism started, when people started traveling post-COVID. It was CNN, the BBC, The Lonely Planet. We were listed among the first 20 countries to visit in the world. So, and that's sort of also what Nepal, the different face of Nepal, and that's what we've been continuing. The other big thing we did in terms of image control was during the earthquake, we started this site called Nepal Now, where tourists actually go in and post in their pictures and of different activities they could do so normally despite things still being settling down. And we also did the I Am in Nepal Now campaign, which was very effective because there we used mostly it's word by mouth. As a destination, you and I would definitely say that, yeah, we are safe, calm, everything is fine. But then it makes a lot of difference if it is a tourist or a visitor who's actually saying that. So, and then there always placard says, I'm in Nepal now. If you go into our website, you will see that it is very active right now. So we have used, and of course, we also went out for low-hanging fruit. So we did a lot of guerrilla campaigns in the one-stop destination. Apart from Maldives, I mean, all the other countries present here today, they're all one-stop destinations. So yes, we go all out and we have been trying our best. We need your support to recoup very soon. Thank
Great.
you.
You know, I like the fact you mentioned the word revenge tourism, which has actually happened after COVID. Like we see that kind of rise in tourism now, especially after COVID. So, in a competitive market like Kerala, how do you get all the tour operators in your to work together and commit to a same high standards for service and efficiency?
It's a tricky question, but I will tell you very clearly. See, competition is there in all the field, as in the case of cooperation also. But we have created a code of conduct between among ourselves in the group, some ethical procedures. Moreover, see, there was a time when most of the tour operators were selling Kerala like just hotels and transport like that, and most of the guests going back doesn't get the real feel of Kerala. So once when we accredited operators came into the picture, we had made a underlying condition that we should not just sell a destination, we should sell experience to the customers. So once we started giving experience to the customers, we tour operators get more and more business. Number two is that we as accredited tour operators, when we send a mail to the customers as well as to our B2B agents, there will be a tagline like we are the authorized people. Any complaints or thing, we can complain to the government directly. So that was a tagline which has created a lot of positive impact, where most of the guests will search for government accredited tour operators. Even if you go to the government site, they only listed the government accredited tour operators in the website, not include tour operators. And we also created, as an association, we also created opportunity to our members. Like in Kerala earlier, anybody can do tour operation business. Even for school groups, school groups and college groups are the huge volume of business. So once an incident happened where a group has gone to Delhi, when they reached Delhi, there was no tour operator, no vehicle, no hotel, nothing. So I taken that reporting to the government. I went to the chief minister's office. I told him this is happening. So he asked to meet his secretary. So I went to his secretary and I told him this is happening. And he was ex-tourism director. So he asked what we can do. I told him, issue a circular, government circular stating that only accredited tour operators should do the tours of schools and colleges. The effect was, you cannot imagine the volume of business which has come to the accredited tour operators is massive. So, so it, and since and we made it one more condition that any school group schools are operating a tour. Before the tour, they should get the government permission. The buses which they are going to use should get the motor vehicle permission also. Because as you know, in most of the countries, what will happen is they will take the road test and everything. After 2 days, they will change the tire and put the old tires and things like that. So before the tour starts, at least 2-3 days prior, they should take this vehicle to the motor vehicle department and make sure that the vehicle is under condition. Similar, the accredited tour operator also is having a liability. Any complaint which rises out of the tour will go on a blacklisting of the tour operator. But the opportunity which we have created on that, it was massive. Similarly, when there are regular tours are there as everyone knows, but there are special interest tours which is happening in Kerala. For example, Teyyam. Teyyam is something which is like the God incarnation like that. But there are lots of people who want to experience Teyyam. In my website also, Kerala is a festival called Onam. So I put this thing and I have put some packages. I forgot to put the speciality of Onam in that package. One foreigner who went to my site, I thought I see only 2 packages in that. then I thought, okay, I missed something there. I have an experience of 35 years in the field. So I thought we should have a unique product where which we sell only experience use of culture, heritage, things like that. Only so, yeah. So what I done is that it's very difficult to see. All these festivals happen with the Malayalam calendar, that's allowed on the English calendar. And these dates are being fixed based on the birthdays of God. The gods also have a birthday, you know. So the birthdays of God has been fixed, when it's fixed by the astrologer and people, the dates keep fluctuating. It will be finalized only at least 2-3 months prior. But you know, the foreigners will decide their package. They will request for the package at least 1 year prior. So what I done is that along with some of my friends in the association who is having at least 20 years plus experience, we form a trust like thing. And when we, in that website, you will only find experienced users. And specialized experience, not that all the experience, like not responsible person like that, only experience. And we are getting the response from that side what we are getting now. Only we have done about 10 packages. Lot of inquiries are coming only for that. So there are opportunity for everybody. Even though competition is there, opportunities are wide. So you explore the opportunity, you will get more and more.
I always believe competition is good, it keeps you on toes.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess, these are all the questions I had for the panelists, and I believe, to conclude, I would say with this generation right now, they are more willing to go for the experience, and going local is something everyone in terms of the hospitality is looking forward to. They want to get that experience, the local experience as well. Plus, I guess, with special thanks to Ismail, as you mentioned, because of SATA, how we all come together and work as, multi-country development, going for one goal for hospitality. And I think that, we continue like this. Any questions from the audience? If there's one.
Nobody audience.
That's fine. I guess, my colleague person will take over from there.
Hi, so there are no questions for this panel? If not, we're going to close the panel from here. And we'd like to facilitate the panelists to the token of appreciation. And to do the honors, we are pleased welcome SATA Vice President India, Mr. Suresh on stage, please.
Ibrahim Shiri.
Mr. Nalin Jayasundar, President, Sri Lanka Association of Inbound Tour Operators.
Ms. Mama Gungilake, CEO of the Hotel Association of Sri Lanka.
Ms. Nandini Lahitapa, retired Senior Director of Nepal Tourism.
Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, President, Voyages Kerala Confederation of African Tour Operators.
Thank you. Shall we have a group photo, Suraj?
Yeah. No. He's the main man, he said. Yep. Thank you.